Okay, viewers, I've just had my meal at the Jubilee Junction. English breakfast, and they serve cafe and authentic Indian food as well. And today's Wednesday, the 19th of August, 2026. I'm on Jubilee Crescent, that's where this is located in Coventry. And I've got to mention something about when I was rendered homeless back on the 26th of April 2023. And obviously that happened a year or so after, more than a year or so after my elderly mother was removed from the house. She was actually removed from the house at the beginning, initially, and that was the main tenant of the property. And her removal from the house occurred on the 24th of November 2021, and it was carried out by a social worker and a GP, a local GP. I think he was from Afghanistan, somewhere like that, Afghanistan origin. And the social worker was I think he was an African social worker who accompanied him. But at the time, they said to me, the GP said to me as well, they said don't make any YouTube videos or anything, because obviously they were concerned about their safety if when they did remove her. And I just complied with that at the time. I didn't really challenge that, but she didn't really want to leave. That was her own home. She was a main tenant. And 3 months down the line, in February the 24th of 2022, the war between Ukraine and Russia escalated. Just out of coincidence, exactly 3 months down the line. They never returned elderly mother to her house. We call her Granny, but never returned Granny to the house, and that's what happened. It jeopardized my stay ultimately, and obviously I was rendered homeless, and I was forced to sleep rough in my car for plus 13 months, and I had to abandon most of my furniture, my bulky furniture, washing machine, settee, sofas, bed, wardrobes, etc. I had to leave all that behind. I had to abandon that, and then sleep rough in my car for 13 months. And I was eventually discovered on Fairfax Street, parked next to the Britannia Hotel, by the JCT, the Jesus Centre outreach workers, the homeless outreach workers. One Romanian guy by the name of Aurelian, and 2 or 3 local women accompanying him. One of them was called Megan, and I don't know what the other one, I think Sarah as well. They were accompanied with Aurelian, and then I was directed towards their Lamb Street Centre and told to go there and present myself there, and that's where I was allocated a 3-night stay at the Salvation Army from there. And then eventually I was provided with supported housing. That's a bedroom to myself in a shared house for the homeless. And I stayed in that for about 2 years, the supported housing, before I eventually got my successful bid for my bungalow, a 1-bedroom bungalow, which I only could get age 55 plus, and I was obviously 55 last year. But sadly, by that time, my mother had died in the care homes where she was being held captive. So it all stems down to her being taken out by that Afghanistan GP. And today is actually Independence Day for them as well, for people from Afghanistan. I don't know if that's got anything to do with them, but it might be just bullshit anyway. So he removed her, as well as that other social worker was there as well. They removed her mother from her own house and put her in hospitals, and then transferred her to elderly care homes, and she was never sent back to her own home. And that's what jeopardized my stay there ultimately. I tried frantically to get the tenancy agreement on my name. Never allowed that to happen. That was a 3-bedroom house, and obviously they didn't want me having a 3-bedroom house to myself. I was only one person, so that's why they took that off us as well, and that's another reason. Not just the rent arrears building up, and obviously them failing to put the tenancy agreement in my name so that I can carry on paying the rent. And the rent there is similar to where I am now, actually. It's no different to how much I'm paying right now in my bungalow, a 1-bedroom bungalow. So that was a cheap 3-bedroom house in the city centre area, the Hillfields area of Coventry. Okay, I'll end this video now.